Hello everyone, welcome back to Dark Heresy. Last time, our acolytes went on an expedition to the North Pole, wherein none of them froze to death. Some of them were almost towed to death, but it was only almost.
Almost doesn't count in the Empire.
It's true. Look, it only suffered significant critical damage and almost detonated.
God.
Almost doesn't count if you still got
It's
legs.
true.
and you can still
We've
run
salvaged
still serve
it.
the
We're
Empire.
missing a weapon, and we all almost died in it. But I proved Snippy wrong. Nobody died, or even got injured.
I mean, the whole heavy flamer can be fairly easily repaired. It was just, the ammo source that exploded.
Oh, good.
Also, since technically machine spirits are a thing, you can say that the tank got hurt. It counts as a valued member of the Empire.
It is. It's more valuable than most of you.
Honestly, not at this point. They've all got sufficient cybernetics that
Oh, that's true.
they are actually quite expensive.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh no. The Chimera is more valuable than Juno, though.
Yeah.
Man, how much money did go into my fucking cybernetic resurrection? That is a good question.
How many influence points did you spend on it?
12?
I forget.
And yeah, the Chimera was worth like 6 or something, maybe 9 at the most.
I'd say, yay, I'm twice as expensive as a Scarab, but apparently those things are a piece of shit anyway, so that's not really something to be proud of.
Yeah, 12 influence would also, well, strictly speaking, going by the exact rules as written, 12 influence would get you a best quality unique item.
I'm glad to see that tanks ain't worth shit.
They really aren't. They're built by the 100. Please do not Voltron.
But we can fire bullets as big as tanks that fire bullets that fire chimeras.
Please do not Voltron.
I don't think Merz would know how to handle it.
I trust Merz to run a fucking Voltron game.
Also, we deja vu meme drifted in the last session. That was fun.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of weebery happening from not me, ironically.
Yeah, it was Savin for the first time.
What?
You drifted.
Oh yeah,
a
I
tank.
fucking Tokyo drifted a tank.
We Tokyo drifted fucking deja vu the tank.
That was fun.
The
I'm
Eurobeat was
glad
playing
my
in the
dumb
background.
tank came in useful for once, even though Merz totally just didn't make that encounter just for the tank. Nope. Totally not how that happened. But I
No, I
appreciate it.
didn't.
You should know better at this point.
It would have been unfortunate for whichever one of you got hit by an anti-tank missile on foot, but, you know, that's not my problem.
See, this is why I trust Merz to run a Voltron game. Doesn't give a fuck.
It's fine, just cyber resurrect. 9 out of 10 graves is approve.
The 10th out of 10th graves fully succumbed to cyberpsychosis.
Look, it's the cyberpunk. We're not there yet. That's the wrong grim dark future.
Hmm.
Meh.
Hmm. Cyberpunk could very easily just be fit into the background of 40k. I'm a
It really could. It really could.
Yeah,
Thinking about it.
whatever awakening is just the warp showing up at the end. Everyone's a beast man now.
That's Shadowrun.
Very similar.
My
but not
point
the same.
stands.
Yeah,
I mean, kind of. In Shadowrun, you could be a furry without wanting to. In Cyberpunk, you have to pay for it.
That makes it more dystopian.
I mean, both could apply to a random ass hive world. Just not gonna lie.
it's true. But anyway. So yeah, your tank didn't actually cook off. Baltus used magic to extinguish the flames. It was great. And
The only two rolls I passed. One of the half the rolls. One of the two rolls I passed that session.
yeah, I mean, the two rolls you did pass were pretty instrumental in the tank not being completely destroyed. If it hadn't had that extra armor, it would have gone a lot worse.
Though to be fair, without the extra armor, I probably would have spent a lot more time hiding behind Eustace. And then again, he almost got pretty fucked up too.
Yeah, he got shot in the arse. Repeatedly.
Unfortunate.
As it turns out, a giant lumbering death walker is not quite as adept at pinpoint maneuvering as hovering killbots. But, you know, no one actually died. It was fine. You went into Tau base. You looked around. You determined initially it had been abandoned in a hurry, and then that it hadn't actually been abandoned in a hurry. It had been abandoned very carefully in such a way to make it look like they left it in a hurry.
The Tau and their confounded way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very 4D chess right there that I just can't figure out why they do that.
We had a pretty good hypothesis to make it look like that they just ran the fuck away and that there was none of them left behind.
Yeah, that was your current assumption. You also got the contents of the Tau computers. However, you haven't been able to break their encryption just yet. So, I think... Oh, and one more thing. You did decide to blow the base.
Giggity.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we did walk away from that explosion.
Mm-hmm. And not one of you looked back. So, with all that... Oh, whoops, that's the galaxy map, not the planet map. What you gonna do?
I
When they
believe
come for you?
I believe I was begged by a certain robot man to find his apprentice, and I also
Yes.
have other stuff to do. Does anyone have anything else that's pressing?
Finding the Tau.
I mean, fair, but they're um. Okay, so there are some ideas we can do. Let's not activate anything like a transponder in, our ship.
Right. I have no idea how we're going to find the Tau, but there apparently are still Tau on the planet. Or they want us to
Well-
think there are Tau still on the planet. Or this is just a double bluff.
That would be 5D chest.
Well, there's always Bob's idea. We can find somewhere secure, flip on the transponder, and then try to triangulate their position.
I do actually like that idea. I think we should do that.
I'd prefer to do it in a place where we have complete control of and is,
Like the
you
Space
know,
Marine fort.
our, yes, and isn't our ticket out of here.
So yeah, I vote we go down to the Space Marine fort, loaded for bear, and see what we can do.
Sure. You can catch a left.
Before we do that, though, can we get the Chimera repaired? Or is that something that's going to take like several days?
Repairing it any more than has already been done would require taking it back to the machine shop and, yeah, a couple of days.
There's a machine shop on the Mother Invention, right?
Of course.
Okay. Well, let's not waste a couple days, though. It's like at half health. That's fine.
15 out of 35.
It's like at half health. It'll almost be fine. Got an autocannon. That's all we need. So yeah, let's pop down, do the thing.
Sure. So, of course, triangulating will require you doing this from 2 different locations. So you can use this for one of them, but you would also need to do it from somewhere else as well.
Yeah, the mechanic.
Alright. And that is conveniently in the same region, so... yes. I think it's a given that between, the stuff you can get from the Mother of Invention and, the stuff built into the Fortress Monastery, you would be able to trace any signal if there was one. He's still just stomping around with you for right now.
Okay, great. Perfect.
He doesn't have anywhere else to be urgently.
Excellent.
And in fact, when you take him here, he is going to give a little dreadnought nod and then just go stomping off to explore.
Oh yeah, this is his pad, isn't it?
Yeah, this is his house.
Yeah, it's the first time he's been able to be here in 5,000 years. He's going to look around to see what you young'uns have done to the place.
Yeah, when he starts like stomping off, we'll just call back. We apologize for the destruction inside, Venerable One, but there were heretics to cleanse, rather.
I understand, little one. And this fortress does as well. Its purpose is the destruction of the unclean.
Indeed, one should never have to apologize for doing their duty.
Alright, I'm gonna tentacle off then.
Shall I accompany you?
Well, if you would like to see the results of my research, then yes.
If you mean pertaining to my protege, I am rather eager for that.
First I hunt the Tau, then your protege.
You are right.
She will be safer once there are no violent aliens to defile this place.
We should hope so. I do not take comfort in trying to predict Victal's actions at this current moment.
All right, Merzendi. Tech use or
Yeah.
security?
Tech use. You aren't really trying to hack anything, just turn
Nice.
something on and then
Speaking
trace
of
it.
moist.
Plug in and spontaneously orgasm.
You find the stash of porn.
I find the the Space Marine charity calendar, and then I immediately flip over to the Tech Marine.
Loosh.
Alright. Yeah. You can get the transmitter all set up. You can, you're ready to follow any signal. You activate it, and it just beams off in a wide band. You detect no responding signal.
Mm. There is no response. Conclusion. Either they're not on the planet, or they may have made us.
Might be they just don't have their new equipment, well, the full equipment set up at their new hidey hole. We did sort of crush the receiver this one would have been originally connected to.
Fair point.
They must have some sort of communications. Else how would they reach out to their mothership?
We can try again at a different location.
That's true. The range might be more limited with their new setup.
Oh, and I suppose while I'm here, I'm going to make sure that all the verification codes and authorizations haven't been tampered with, so Eustace can control them at his leisure.
I mean, they had been, but you can dig out the old codes and re-enable those. It's not really a matter of difficulty, just a matter of time.
Alright, I'll purge the old codes and then send a series of confirmation beeps to Eustace, giving him full control over the Fortress Monastery.
Alright. What next, then?
It sounds like Sanctum of the Sword Sage is next.
Isn't that on the same continent?
Same continent. Oh, sorry, Merzendi.
I was just going to say yes.
Same continent, just further up.
I think we should just try once on each continent, really. But yeah, they might be north
I
enough
don't know
to count.
any other place on a different continent that would have such a thing. There might be the Sanctum of the Sword Sages in the other place wasn't too advanced, was it? Like this is the one on this continent is the main one.
Yes.
Yeah,
We can use
the other dudes basically just staple metal to their faces. That's about it.
I mean, that's what these guys do.
Yeah, but
they actually have leftover tech on this one.
Yeah.
We can still use them as part of the triangulation, but we'll just, we'll take our part to the next continent over.
Without without all of the stuff integrated into the fortress monastery, range will be even more limited. But you can do it with just portable stuffs.
I guess we could just bring down another gunship or one of the stormy transports and just start flying around trying to ping them.
Yeah, that would be possible.
Yeah, I don't think aside from the sword sages in this place, we're gonna find much advanced tech around. So yeah, let's bring down another ship, have Jeff get some tech boys over there to do the other locator beacon.
Fair enough.
All right. Yeah. Sometime later, you'll receive a message from the adepts tending to that auger array. That likewise, they received no response to the distress signal.
Alrighty then. How long will it take to perform a sweep?
How thorough are you being with your search pattern?
I'm of the mind that we should be fairly thorough given the advanced nature of Tau tech. If we were, say, hunting orcs or necrons and stuff like that, it'd be different. Tau are sneaky bastards. It's up to the group.
I'm fine taking a few days to really dig into the planet. It gives us time to find Graves' protege.
And if we find a... Well, I don't think it will give Eloa time to do that because she'll be scanning the entire time. But if we find a sizable force, we can call for Astra Militarum support, and if not, then we'll at least be sure that this place is safe for settlement and uplifting. So,
So a few days, maybe a week. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
and since I'll be busy doing that, we don't always have to have people helping Eloa out, which means that you guys can try to do investigation quests for his protege. Graves, what do you remember?
Sorry, give me a second. You're asking me what I remember about my protege?
Mm-hmm. If you don't remember as a person, we can just always ask the GM and then allocate people to help you look for her.
It's because you only really have her physical appearance, right? From her token, and from me meeting her. And I guess so it depends how much, because the fuck that the time was so fucky. How much of a mental, how much mentally do I remember, or do I think I remember of her? If that makes any sense. What was the impression I got from the warp memories?
That's an awkward question for me.
Merzendi, I'm fairly certain it came up that I pulled up her likeness from his memory banks.
Yes. You, of course, have what she looks like, or rather what she will look like in a couple of years.
Right, I squint.
You also got just a prompt here that she was apparently a person of some significance, such that there was a celebratory tournament for her 21st birthday.
Yeah, she was nobility, correct?
Yes.
So if I say were to spend my time scanning the planet, but then handed off, basically took a PNG from the memory banks, gave it to Juno, and then sent her to the Queen with Iavus, then they'd be able to do that while I'm doing my beep boops.
Yeah. Yeah. And while you're doing that, you could have like Narcia working on breaking the Tau codes.
Yeah. So we're all doing something. I'll hunt the Tau. Narcia and Casa can help each other. No, just Narcia can do that. She's got forbidden lore Tau. Casa will help me. Narcia will do her thing, and Iavus and Juno can go hunting along with Baltus and the rest of the party.
Sounds good.
Oakley pokely.
I'm in agreement.
So
All right.
I'll transfer over to Juno's datapad the visage of the girl that is destined to be Iavus Graves' apprentice.
You'll just blink for a moment. Well, she's a cute one. For someone who's destined to be Graves' second, I was expecting someone more grizzled, more hardened.
The impressions I got from the warp was that she had great grace and talents. The blade is a weapon of speed and precision rather than brute strength, even though my fighting style might suggest otherwise.
Oh, I'm well aware, Graves. Still, it's more that your personalities and backgrounds seem at odds.
If I can trust the memories from the warp, she has a great love for swordsmanship and is able to learn what I can teach her. Of course, despite these feelings, I can confirm nothing until I actually see her and speak with her.
Well, let's get going then.
Very well then. Battlemaster, sister, take the sniper and the psyker with you. They may be of help. Engineer Casa, you will aid me in hunting down the Tau, if they exist at all.
All right.
You two have fun.
Narcia, I'll put on the coffee.
Appreciate it.
So, guys, where would we like to start?
I think the hunt would be more interesting. The hunt for the apprentice. The other thing's just going to be a series of techies tests.
That's fair.
Definitely not, because I'm going to try to call my bank again right now.
Go ahead, then.
So, I believe we had memories that your protege would be in the central region of the planet? Near the Equator?
That seems to be the place. It rings loudly in my memories.
Let's see, that's not where our queen was it? She was in the north?
Correct.
Alright, who actually controls this land, then? Which
You've
of the
never
queen?
actually been there,
No.
But if you recall, the Comte Renard was a hero of the war in which the central region was brought under Queen Alexandra's suzerainty.
Excellent. Well, rather than just bucketing down to the central front, let's go back to the north and ask around the court, because if this girl really is high nobility, there's a good chance they might know who she is. Perhaps the Count fought her daddy at some point, or the Queen's seen her.
Alright, drag you down to Grotto, and then let's just replace.
Oh yes, they still have the
Yes.
Tau here. We should kill him.
You did actually take him.
Oh, okay. Forgot all about that. But yeah, that makes sense. So where is he? Is he dead now or just in the brig?
Up to you?
Alright. We'll assume he's just in the brig.
Alright, I don't recall him having been killed yet, but he might have been. It's been a bit.
Yeah, I don't recall that happening either, so.
Did my internet just die?
Nope.
No, I'm just getting things moved to the correct locations. So, how would you like to go about this?
I think the way to go is to just work our way up the nobility rather than just bothering the Queen immediately. So I don't think the captain would have any reason to know who this is, so probably start with the Comte, then the princes, and the Queen.
I mean, there are other nobles around.
And that's true. If there's
They
just like a
just-
master of records or something who would have like genealogies from the central region, whatever that is, and
Maybe she is a child who has herself a reputation. We could ask if there isn't a rambunctious young girl who has a propensity for the sword.
precisely. So come, let us see if there's a chronicler or archivist that can tell us of any. Did you get a name for this girl?
Amelia.
Amelia.
I am not sure if I can recall a last name.
Well, then let us see if there's any Amelia or Amelie or anything like that among the living nobility of the region. The high nobility, that is.
Alright, I think if you're going to try for some sort of record keeper, I'm going to call for an inquiry test.
Also, real quick, is it Amelia or Amelie?
Amelie.
Ah,
Alright, inquiry, any bonuses or penalties?
You are fairly well known here, in a mostly positive way. So good disposition will give you a +10.
Okay. Can Graves help?
If he has it trained.
Okay, then never
which I
mind.
do not.
Ceiko, Balti, do either of you have inquiry trained?
Let me double check.
Oh wait.
You're a cop. You ought to.
Yes.
Excellent. So that's one.
Two, actually, matter of fact, I think I have. That might be coordinated interrogation.
That sure isn't tied to inquiry.
Yeah, it's just a skill. Do you have a check by it or not?
Oh yeah, I have inquiry trained.
Okay. So max assist. Boop. I guess I'll just buy into a success.
I mean, do you have the clues from the crowd's talent?
No. I don't have anything related to investigation.
Oh, I do.
Well, maybe
want
you
to-
should have taken the lead then, Bob.
I want to highlight the hilariousness of being inquisitors and saying, I have nothing tied to investigation.
I'm the medic.
No, I'm not. I just want to have that juxtaposition of that line.
Bob's our interrogator. I'm not sure we actually have an investigator.
No.
Probably
No.
Narcy. But
All right.
Narcy
But-
gets Russ right now.
Rolled an 87. The target was 77. I will just pop a fate point and buy in.
Okay. I guess you can.
I mean, I'll re-roll if you want.
Yeah, but Narcia is being a code slot.
Yeah. Why aren't you here investigating, you nerd? All right. So do you want me to re-roll or?
Nah, you can
Okay.
buy in, get your very basic success. It takes you some time. There is a record keeper. As it turns out, he does not like you, in large, quite possibly because of the sheer amount of work you've given him by upsetting the balance of planetary power and the religious revival. And, well, just everything. You've made him a very busy man. So he's going to make you wait and wait.
Imagine being mad at Jesus because he gave you more paperwork.
I mean, you remember Jesus was murdered, right?
Yeah, I know.
I
I'm
was
just
about
saying.
to say.
But for all the reasons.
It sure was his own religion. Just fucking screwed him on that one. Yes, Juno's a very patient girl. She's fucking been to Terra, and if there's one thing that's on Terra, it's giant, like, centuries-long lines for things. So, we shall wait patiently.
Okay.
If only I had Intimidate, I could make him rethink making us wait that long.
I mean,
But also, I wouldn't.
I have Intimidate. But no, Juno's a very sweet girl. See, god fucking shit fucks.
Would you like to buy in that as well?
I, sure, why not? Love me, salty old bastard.
Alright. When he eventually calls you in, you can flash him a winning smile, and he looks momentarily shamefaced for having kept you out there for so long. But you can give your query, and this bit doesn't take very long. Ah, yes. A noble named Emily from the Middle Kingdom. Well, perhaps you mean the Lady Amélie de Méditerre.
Juno
Well,
will
actually,
look at
let me-
Graves.
let me check I haven't just flubbed the name.
I'm back, by the way.
Hello.
Welcome back, Sloot.
The bank lady was very nice.
Yay.
Excellent. Yes, sorry. It should actually be the Lady Amélie de Méditerre.
Medigar.
Medicare. Gonna hold the A out.
I'm not sure I'm capable of doing so. I think I'm missing part of my tongue.
Right, yes. Where might we find this young lady?
She is the only child of the Duchess Reine de Méditerre. I would recommend her chateau.
Okay, out of character, Gesundheit?
Have you never heard of a chateau before?
No.
It's like
In
an
the
Really?
estate.
castle.
Oh,
It's French fuck for castle.
A specific type of castle, but yeah.
No, it's just French for castle at
Uh,
all.
that's really, I thought it only applied to those weird 18th century ones where they, 18th, like 17th century ones where they do mostly like lawn. It's got castle-esque features, but it's mostly for like lawn and gardening stuff. Like,
I assumed it was some kind of mansion.
I'm sorry, my guys, but even if you look up, just so I wasn't talking out my ass, I know Merzendi knows this, but if you just look up French for castle, English to French for castle is chateau.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
Well, fine. Be right. See if we care.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very well.
It can mean a large manor house, but the
See?
examples on Wikipedia have a large manor house, and then the second example is like a proper fucking fortified castle.
Well,
To
okay
the
then. I'll take both of those.
To the Chateau Medigar.
Yes, thank you for your time, sir. We appreciate it. Alright. Yeah, I don't see the need to disturb the nobles unless they want something out of us, so
They're nobles. They always want something out of you.
alright. Doubly a good reason to leave. Up, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, I'm sure Captain de Castlemore would love to get his hands on a plasma gun.
Oh, actually, that's right. I did promise I'd fucking take him shooting at some point. Now I have this tricked out bolt gun. So sure, I'll ask Graves to wait for a minute, and then I'll go let this guy have his have some trigger time behind a bolt pistol. Welcome to the Empire, son.
All right. I think it's.
He just goes from a muzzle loader to, oh yeah, here's an automatic grenade launcher.
I think it's safe to say he is happier even than the day he got his first blowjob. It's. He's really into your bolter.
Is he black, missing an eye, and always drunk?
No.
Does he look like Ian from Forgotten Weapons?
All right. So bolters are cool and all, but has he ever had a flamethrower before?
No.
Hmm.
All right, Captain. Do you see that target over there? Would you like it to be on fire?
That's called a Flammenwerfer.
Because you see, it warps Slamen.
One off the lewd number.
He rolled a 69 and just scream himself. God.
Probably.
Alright, so I'm just gonna mark off some shots from both of those weapons. The Captain behold the cool boomsticks.
Yes, I think it is fair to say you have made a lifelong ally in him.
Oh great, I can mark XP at the end of the session. Alright.
Oh yes, flash your energy sword.
Oh, okay. Hey, check out my cool lightsaber. Vroom. Also, this axe I have, that's a chainsaw. Vroom.
Oh. Yeah. He like...
In fact, I think Juno actually just has, like, her old chainsaw that she doesn't need anymore, because she fucking has a chain axe now. So I will just give him my chainsword. Here you go. You can have that.
So he's gotten to play with fancy guns, and now he gets to just keep a las gun and a chainsword.
Yes.
I gave him a las gun sessions ago.
Yeah, the
I
first time he
traded
got a
it.
las gun. Now he
Yes.
has a chainsaw on a sword.
Yeah, you are just making this man very happy.
Just he just won our garbage. Fucking magic.
All right. Well, I will. I will withhold the glory that is plasma grenades until later, in case I ever need a favor.
Also, because those are a real pain to replace.
Yeah. Like I said, if I ever need a favor. All right.
I'm just
So
like, I can
my
take that.
obligation concluded. Now we may go.
Alright. Yeah. He can get a gun cutter ride. And... yes.
Is Eustace still on the gun cutter, or did we leave him at the Fortress Monastery?
Unless you told him there were more things to kill, he would rather have stayed at the monastery.
Yeah, that's fine. Just wanted to make sure we know where our dreadnought is. I feel that's something we don't want to just lose track of.
Yeah. I think the last any of you guys would have actually seen him would have been like in the reliquary where he's just staring transfixed at the Book of Deeds still being written.
Oh man, I could have shown the captain my tank. Next time.
Jesus.
Do not
You're-
kill this man with happiness.
I was
in
about
one
to
day.
say, you're going to kill this man.
That's true. We need him alive.
I mean, I
We
could
do,
just walk
though.
up and be like, "Oh, watch this," and melt the beam out of my eyes. Walk off.
That's pretty baller. Unfortunately, that's witchcraft. He might object.
Yeah, he might be like, mm.
Alright. To the Central Kingdom.
Indeed. Can make your way over to the capital region of Merville, where the Chateau de Mediguer sits about a mile outside of the city.
Oh, how quaint. Reminds me of one of my father's outbuildings.
It is not quite as large as either the great city of Grateau or the ancient settlement of Fauville, but it is still remarkably large for this planet. Certainly the greatest building you have seen outside of those two cities.
Well, Grace, here we are. Let us make our way to the castle and find your apprentice-to-be. I will
Indeed.
leave most of the talking to you, if that's all right. Feel like it's only appropriate for you to take the measure of her yourself.
I mean, if you are sure.
I am.
Graves will shrug and start walking forward.
I wonder if the people here have heard about us yet. We are a continent away. That could be an issue, actually. Oh well.
You are here now, so
Yeah, just blithely begins trekking towards the castle. Confident that this will all work out.
alright.
I admire your optimism, if nothing else.
Well, what's the worst that could happen? The absolute worst, I imagine, is that your apprentice here simply doesn't like you, and we can come back in a couple of years once the people here have learned of our imperial glory. Then she'll change her mind. It's not like the people here pose any threat to us.
I shall be honest, Juno. Part of the reason why I am so in a rush to get a protege is because I am not sure I have a few years.
Graves in that body, I'm fairly sure you could last a few thousand. Look at Eustace. You're the closest thing we can get without making you an angel, too.
The shadow of death looms over me, even more heavier now than it did before. I know I shall find my fall soon within service of the Empire. I simply know not what day.
Graves, don't talk like that. You're going to live forever. At least if I have anything to say about it. And I'm a very, very good surgeon.
I mean, Graves is not going to try to dash out optimism, so he'll simply continue on. I assume we'll do it the first time we did it the first time, the way we did it the first time, because that worked out perfectly, no flaws whatsoever, and we did not get rat on him, and it did not involve the Tau. It was fine.
Yeah. I'm sure the Central Kingdom isn't where the Tau ran off to, and this place isn't crawling with stealth suits.
Man, wouldn't that be fucking ironic?
Wouldn't it, though?
So yeah, I assume we We go up. Graves asks politely to see if he can have an appointment and an audience with the duchy owner, more specifically, their daughter. But of course, I assume the person who owns the duchy is going to want to be present while a strange man talks to their young daughter.
The knights on duty at the gate will look you up and down. Are you clearly wearing your saber?
I would say, obviously. I don't think I conceal that. I can conceal that. I'm probably in my skull armor, like, just to try to somewhat hide all the fucking cyberware. If anything, I'm not convinced the cyberware wasn't just crafted and shaped into, like, skulls.
And this is the Empire.
Yeah, it very probably was. It's just you can then wear armor on top of it with more skulls.
Indeed.
Yo, Graves, I heard you like skulls, so I carved skulls into your skull, so you can skull while you skull.
The
Honestly, I
Empire
would
does-
be shocked if there isn't a skull card onto your skull at this point.
I,
At the very
it's
least, there's a
quite
half of a
possible.
skull from, like, the Mechanicum cog.
In any
Anyway.
case, I'll get you over. And what business do you have with the Lady Emily?
Graves will stroke his chin because he was about to say something and realized that might be a little too grandiose for strangers, and say,
I'm her new tutor.
I have reason to believe that she would make a good swordswoman if given the chance.
If, monsieur, she is one of the finest swords in the kingdom.
I see. Then she has already a good foundation of which to be elevated further.
You see, our Lord Grace here is perhaps the finest swordsman in the north. He would lend the opportunity to impart what he knows to young Amelie. That is all.
I would bet confidently on my life that I am the best swordsman on this planet.
Yeah. Strange when you have so little modesty and yet I have never heard of you.
Indeed. It is a strange time, but if given the chance, I'll be able to prove my words.
Bring forth your best knight and challenge him then.
Yeah. Shall we show him to the guest chambers? I will take word of this to the Duchess.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Yes, you are permitted into the outer courtyard. The guest quarters are in a very large a large and squat tower attached to the curtain wall. But while certainly not the height of luxury,
Graves waits patiently while the elevator music plays.
They are reasonably comfortable.
Graves just sits down and drums on his fingers while the bard plays music behind.
Once we get into the guest quarters and left alone, Juno will just mumble to herself. It does feel like one of Father's outbuildings. I like it here. It's nice.
Hmm. Baltus probably thinks it's like cold and like mold, like just sort of like cold and hard. He's like,
Perhaps it is simply the contrast from my home world and the matters of which we've been dealing with. But I do not dislike this planet. It is a simpler life, a purer life.
Isn't it just?
They certainly have a set of agrarian ideals. I'll give them that.
Even in their ignorance, it is still the emperor's name which they worship.
Baltus, what sort of planet do you come from? I know you're a blue blood, but you've never talked much about it.
Indeed. I have to admit, now that the topic's been brought up, I am curious as well.
Well, planet. He'll he'll rub his he'll rub his chin a little bit. It was there's a hive world, really. World, a hive city. Which is almost unto a world unto itself. If you've ever been, each hive basically has its own hierarchy and such, but Merzendi, how important am I allowed to make my characters?
Don't go full Mary Sue.
Uh,
But that's
not,
it.
That's my job.
Yeah, like what? Like probably not planetary governor. Is that not him, but like his mom or aunt or something.
Could be.
Ah, yes, the Inquisitor stooped a governor's wife, and there you are.
Yeah, that's. Well, they also carry the curse of being psychers, so there's that issue. But like what's the old saying? For every cloud there is a silver lining. Basically, to inherit the titles, you either have to go through the vetting process of the Imperium or not be a psyker. And if someone were to I don't know, hide you in a basement, like no, he just tells stories from time to time. Nah, they you're either on that black ship or you're dead, basically. Dead weight.
Ah, I
But
see.
no,
So, did you have any siblings, someone to inherit the position while you're inquisiting?
no. My mom was still in power with I don't know, a couple centuries left.
Well, that's good. I'm glad she's still around, then.
Not like I got to see her very much. I remember, well, of course, from when I was young, but I remember as being a small babe, uh, having to put on fancy clothes and walk to the table, told how to eat. Uh,
Oh, little baby Baltus. I'm sure that was
Yeah.
adorable.
Indeed, I was. Precocious little champ.
I was, in fact, amazing.
Yeah, I was. He's not good. I was the most adorable babe they've ever seen.
In fact, I was bending the warp itself to make myself even more adorable.
That's probably
It's how
not
they found out
untrue,
I was- it's how
considering
they
the
found
powers
out
he
I was
started
ready.
with. Little warp baby Baltus.
No, just one time I got a splinter and did what? Well, how? No. Just someone sensed this spark in me, and I was a little bit put through training a little bit before the black ships took me, so that way I'd be powerful enough to not end up like the rest, to be useful for the Imperium and not fuel for the. Anyway,
Now,
yeah.
Baltus. Psychers fed to the Emperor are still useful in their way. Without them, the warp would go dark without his light. But I understand the point, and I'm glad to see that you survived the trials.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It is most certainly like in his blood, in his family's nature to endure such trials. Yeah, trials works. Trials fits.
Yes, I imagine a hive city must breed tough stock. I confess, aside from Terra itself, I've never been to one, but the stories I hear are, well, suppose it's just a world like Graves, but wrought of steel and iron. Very dog eat dog.
Well, yes.
I remind you that from me, that was quite literal.
Oh god.
Well,
Oh
the
god.
Juno will stifle a
I'm
laugh.
I'm
depending on
sorry. I did have the chance to remove from you the YIF piles. I left them there.
You can't remove trauma like that. That stays in the soul.
It's probably true in this setting, too.
I
depending,
drown in a sea of wolf cum. Awesome.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway.
depending
All right, well, this
on
moment's
where
been
you
ruined.
go,
Thank you.
actually. Yeah. Depending on where you go, it also applies. One minute you're dining with your mini aunts and cousins. Next minute you're in a duel with those same nieces and nephews. Yeah, that's actually how it works. Yes.
Well, I suppose I can understand that. Suppose our planets weren't that different in that respect.
Well, it wasn't Necromunda, at least.
Well, nowhere in the galaxy is Necromunda except Necromunda. And thank the Emperor for that. But speaking of duels, I wonder if they will bring forth a knight for Graves to challenge. It'll be very fun.
Well, if she's as good as she says, I'm willing to bet they'll bring her out instead.
Oh, I don't know if they'd risk her right away.
Hmm.
And after all, Graves could be trying something nefarious. It'd be best to sort him out with a trial by night. At least that's how I would do it.
Indeed, That would be wise. Although no matter who they send after me, I shall probably not have to hurt them.
Yes, it would be better for everyone if you didn't hurt anybody,
L-
even accidentally.
Please,
Although I'll be
please,
standing by in case.
hmm. Very, yeah. Unfortunately, the Sisters of Battle's miracles are quite rare. I hear.
Juno she just chuckles and says, I don't know, it was dramatically on fire for a little bit.
I'm still going to have to sit down one of these days and get a proper explanation for that.
Oh, Grace, I would love to tell you all about it. I still get weak in the knees thinking about the vision of the Golden Throne. And for reaching out to me, touching my soul for just the barest moment.
Well, that is what happened. Then I am simply envious, and all the sense has been made.
It was a truly euphoric religious experience. I shall explain it to you in as much detail as I can when the time permits.
Just
Oh, you
feel
were
lucky that
briefed on what happened, weren't you, Jeff?
No.
Laughs.
LT's and the Commandant might have been, but never filtered its way down to me.
Oh, well, I must sound like quite the madwoman then. I'll
Nah.
include you in the retelling of events then when we have the chance. Best for us all to understand what we've been through if we're to work together.
Yes. I would appreciate it, but all told, it's not the most unbelievable thing. I haven't been lucky enough myself, but one of the instructors at the Scholar once caught a glimpse of St. Celestine on the battlefield.
Really? Oh, would I could be so lucky.
It was only a momentary thing, but well, apparently before that he used to be a real gruff bastard, and afterwards, well, he joined up to preach the good word with a ministorum.
I'm told she does have that effect on people. Would that any of us could be half as incandescent. Oh, I'm afraid my one moment of radiant fire just burned a few people's eyes out.
That's pretty
Yeah.
incandescent if you ask me.
Mm.
Yes, just not quite the effect I'd like to have on people. I like to inspire faith and hope, not uh, permanent darkness. Though, hopefully at least there's a little light in their souls. Yeah, I do feel a little bad about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. If you've ever talked to Astra Telepathica, you'll get much the same. That's sort of what happened to them, and I point to their eye to my eyes.
Oh yes,
I-
that's true.
They get a good long look as well. With their extra eye.
Perhaps I should be thankful then that I still have my baby blues.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you aren't natural psi, are you?
No, thankfully not. Still, I can imagine his glorious presence can inflict all manner of bodily damage should you behold it for too long, much like staring into the sun.
Hmm.
Although, does that mean all the priests in the capital were psychers? That Brother Felix was, actually. Or at least I believe he was. Maybe. After all, Eustace was a psionic. It's possible
Yes,
all the
but
clergy on this world are...
yes, but normally for space friends is a bit different. They're alive for a long, like they're pretty much immortal, and he was stuck in one space for a long time. I don't. Hmm.
I imagine I'd
hmm.
become psionic just out of boredom.
Perhaps. But for a human to go from even, I don't remember. Well, I never actually reached out. I wasn't actually hunting for psychers, so Felix didn't exactly. No, wait. I don't think Felix did ping.
Well, next time we're in the capital, perhaps we should take you around sweeping for psychers. We might find more than we thought. Which would make sense considering what planet we're on.
Hmm.
Might have just been latent psi. I've heard traumas can awaken those powers, and well, getting a glimpse of the throne, it's probably counts, right?
That's true enough.
Yeah.
Though if trauma awakens psychic power, I should think Graves would be amongst the most powerful wizards in the Imperium. Give him a good-natured clap on the shoulder.
Graves will shiver and be like, and think to himself, I wonder if that's why I've been alive for so long.
You're you're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, it all makes sense now.
Good cardio has kept me alive where psionic powers have not.
As the good book says, cardio beats chaos.
Is that what they teach in the Scala? In the Sororitas, they talk about flamers.
I give Jeff a knowing nod.
All right.
Enough faff.
Yeah, I was just going to let you guys go on until you got bored, but at this point, I feel like I'm just going to have to move it on for
No,
you.
that's fine. I was just happy to learn a little bit about Balti.
Yeah. After a while of conversation, the knight will rap on your door.
We'll open it.
Our Grace has decided that if you believe you are the greatest swordsman in the world, then you may attempt to prove it against the swordmaster of our order, Javert.
Stars.
Graves will respectfully nod to the man and say,
I do have one request if we are to duel. Actually, now that I think about it, two.
Well, let us go meet this man and we can settle the terms of the fight.
Oh, my bad. Out of character. I thought he was here.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay, yeah, my bad.
You may speak your requests.
I will wish for this duel to take place with an audience of the young Amelie. And I should wish for the swordmaster to be able to fight to yield.
Hmm.
After all,
I think that will do. Yes.
Grand.
thank you.
All right, Graves will get up and start following.
Come along, everyone.
Yeah.
If nothing else, the Duchess will get quite a show.
You are led from these quarters to a taller, round tower. A sort of fighting ring has been drawn out in chalk in front of the door. You can see that a number of knights are leaning out of windows to observe. And in the ring there stood a tall, willowy man tracing patterns in the sand with the tip of his rapier.
I offer good greetings to you.
And that to you. Bonjour, monsieur. You have come to claim that you would be a better teacher than I?
Indeed. And as I have come to make these claims, I have also come to be properly tested so that I may prove them.
I see. Well, will we be dueling in armor?
If you would be so gracious as to let me do that. My skin is disfigured. I prefer the visage of my armor rather than bare.
He nods, and the tower door will be opened. A couple of squires will rush out to start wrapping him in plate.
Juno's gonna lean into Graves and say, "Should I give him a power sword too to make it fairer?"
I was just about to out of character say I should probably get a normal sword. As my power sword is a little overkill.
Juno actually has like a normal sword in her pack.
Actually, wait, no, I can just turn off the power
Yeah,
feature on the sword.
that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you never gave it the mono treatment, did you?
I mean, I don't need to. It's like I thought a power saber without its power field was just like monoed, normal mono sword.
No, just a
No.
normal sword.
Okay. I mean, that's still fine. That's still like fine.
Yeah, and you have sufficient bonus damage to make up for it.
Yeah, I think unarmed you'd still probably be fine against this guy.
Yes.
It's gonna be incredibly funny if this guy like somehow crit shit you into the bed though.
It would just be karma.
I hope it doesn't happen, but I'm gonna laugh if it does.
Alright. Yes. Once he is fully armored, uh, stand ready on guard. And, you said you did want Amelie to watch, yes?
Yes.
Yes. You'll see a pair of women emerge onto a balcony above you. One of which you recognize as the girl Amelie. She looks a little frustrated. There we are, now we're on the token layer.
God damn, her mom hot.
Yeah. Yes. It came as a sort of accident, but I did eventually realize, I've made all of the major rulers women.
It's fine.
I
Bueno.
don't think
Patriarchal society.
I don't think you're seeing anyone complaining.
And yeah, DCL, guess it's time for initiative. Well, you're up first. Surprising not really anyone.
There is a stance I can take to give me bonuses to parry, right? Or is that not a thing?
Combat actions. There is full action defensive stance, which gives you an additional parry, and opponents have minus 20 weapon skill. Or there is there's another one, guarded action, which means any attacks you make have minus 10 weapon or ballistic skill, but you get plus 10 to parry.
You should go full defensive for the first round so you don't just humiliate this dude.
Was the idea. Here, give me a second. My wire is still fucking dying, and I have not gotten a chance to replace it.
Well, you should put your wire on a pyre and get a new one.
I'm working on it. Either way, Graves will lift up his shield, power field obviously off, and I guess, yeah, take the full defensive action. Minus 20 might come in more handy than just a plus 10 to parrying, I would assume. And I'll say,
I would ask that you give me the honor of tasting your swordsmanship.
I see. So be it.
Let us dance, my friend.
Indeed. Dances forward, his sword flashing. Okay, so that is 4 hits incoming.
all right, it's time to parry.
Monosword, ooh.
Ding 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 ding.
I'm being a dumb. I forgot where the parry thing was.
Just
On
skill.
the front
Parry.
page.
Yeah, I went to the weapon sheet and I was just like, wait, you don't go there to
This
parry.
isn't Warhammer Fantasy.
What? Use Benetti's defense.
All right. So that is sufficient blocks to defend against him.
And I might as well try to hit with a counterattack.
All right.
Rip this dude.
It's a -20 on using a counterattack, right?
Yes.
All right. I do one hit.
Yeah, it's his turn, so he can't do anything about it.
All right. Let us do. Okay.
Do you
I-
actually have a normal sword on your sheet so you don't?
No, I do not actually. I have like chain swords, ghost blades, power swords.
You can choose just to hit him with the flat.
What is just a turned off power sword?
1d10 plus 0, pen 0.
Okay. Okay. I can hear Snippy ring at me, but to be fair, when do you ever turn this thing off? Anyways, let me just do damage.
Oof. Is that actually all it should be?
That is with 1d10 plus 0, so I assume. Oh wait,
Do you not have crushing blow?
I do have crushing blow. That
How much extra?
crushing blow is weapon skill rounded down, correct?
Half, yes.
All right, then.
Sorry, half rounded up.
Oh, then either way, that is 3 extra, so 20 damage.
Okay, 20. That is quite a significant blow. A fine strike, monsieur.
I do not boast lightly. Come again.
Just gonna counter him to death.
You're not going to even strike him? That's
You must learn that defense is the most important part of swordsmanship. To be a wall and be unhit.
Alright. Sure, if you are just going to continue to defensive stance, let's feint you. Reroll that. Okay, so that is 3. That is 6 degrees of success. You have to make a weapon skill roll.
Okay, unmodified, I assume.
Yep.
Fuck is a paint?
I think I beat
It's-
it.
That's where you
Yeah,
forget to
with
attack.
your one-on-one, you do indeed win. And Savin feint is, say, half action, an opposed weapon skill test. If you win, your next melee attack cannot be evaded.
Nice. Yeah, that's the thing to do in this situation.
Yes. He tries to draw your shield high, but you judge his intentions correctly. And, yeah, he'll pass.
Fair enough. All right. Then I shall, I guess, defensively strike at him. So -10, but +10 to parry.
Yep. What type of attack, though?
Let's go with swift rather than lightning.
Okay.
So that will be to hit. No aim. Not all out. Swift attack. -10. +3 degrees. I believe that is 5 degrees of success, 2 hits.
So you got 3 hits actually.
Ah.
He will deflect and lunge back, a counter of his own.
He's doing it, boys.
Yeah, like I said, we're watching Princess Bride right now.
Oh my god, you're right.
Alright, let's Blade Master that. I'll just roll the D100 here.
What, DCO?
I said, oh my god, you're right.
He lands a blow. It's your turn, so you can't do anything about it.
Nope.
Does he do anything?
No.
Ding.
Does it pierce armor, at least?
No.
You've got more than 11 worn armor?
Yes. My least armored place is 12.
Wow.
That's the monster we've created.
Machine trait, Merzendi.
Yeah? And I just want to say, I don't mean your total soak, I mean your actual physical armor, DC.
Yes. Oh, wait. I mean, even without toughness, I guess without my toughness, that does go through. If that's what you meant.
Yes, that is what I meant.
Oh, where did he hit though? That actually matters then.
Right leg.
Pin 2. That does a mighty 1 damage without my toughness.
So it doesn't actually injure you, but does slip into a small gap in your armor. You're clad as a true champion, monsieur. Even when I can land a blow, oh, will I cannot arm you through it.
My shield is not the only place of which I consider my defense. However, the fact that you were able to bypass my parries proves that you are a man of good caliber.
But still, let us not be done yet.
You should have ended it with "You're a man of good caliber, but it's time to end our game."
Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting. And then Graves just goes ballistic on this dude.
I mean, I was going... Wait, shouldn't it be my turn?
No, he
Oh, yeah,
can't
you're right.
attack you.
Yeah, he did. Sorry, I forgot.
Alright, he fails his feint. He'll let it go back to you.
Alright.
All out this dude. It's time.
No, let us not all out.
Let us. I don't mean all out. I meant let us not all out attack. Let us try to give him one back. Let us try to feint him. That does not succeed. Do you get to use Weapon Master on that?
Yep.
That succeeds with only 4 degrees. Has a chance of just ignoring it.
Well, you win. And I guess I could Weapon Master it for him since
That would be fair.
Initiative 0 rolled round.
Ooh.
There you go. He fails not for the feint. So he shall get his chance to bury. However, do I give him the lightning attack still?
Just end it.
Okay. I'll just end it.
This has gone on way farther than Wesley and Inigo's duel.
All right.
it's time for you to go. I'd sooner shatter a stained glass
Pull it up
window
with the
than
lightning.
harm you.
Give me a second as my headset is derping again. Cannot hear anything. Somebody say something?
Beep boop.
Hello.
Fuck. Yep, this cord is just on its last leg.
Uh-oh.
Hasn't that been happening for a while?
Yeah, it had
Anyways,
2
I'm
legs, now
going
it
to
has
roll
1
the
leg.
dice, even though I can hear nothing. I miss. Do I have weapon? Do I have weapon master on this?
You already used it this round.
Wow.
Wow.
What the heck was that?
That was DCL's fucking mic. DCL, can you hear us?
Rip.
Guess not. Rest and Puffers, DCL. Quick, Merz, have Javert kill him.
No, it's I would sooner destroy a stained glass window. As an artist as yourself. However, since I can't have you following me either, and now DCO donkey punches him in the back of the head.
Well,
Oh no! Oh no! Big point! Graves has a lower to hit number than I would have expected.
Right? Even I have a fucking 85% chance to hit.
with a gun. That thing that gets an absurd number of staff.
Oh, the warrior ability. Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, like I said, this is the Javert suicide part of the soundtrack where he just explodes.
The thing is,
Oh, also
Graves,
that's a lightning attack, which is -10.
the thing is, Graves has explicitly said that this was all non-lethal. So
Yeah, I know.
I assume after a couple of hits, when he goes down, he'll stop.
Okay.
No, Graves is just gonna roll this guy over and just keep spanking him right on the ass with the flat of the blade.
Okay.
DCL?
I can
Can you
hear.
hear us, DCO?
Yes, I'm having to just use my speakers. My mic works fine. Headphones are not right now.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
Everyone quick, say embarrassing things about DCL.
He parries 6 strikes.
I assume his
Damn.
is one-on-one too. Wait, so I can't do more than 6, even if he parries the same degrees of success, right? So it doesn't matter if I technically have 1 more over him.
Right, because
All
you're
right.
capped by your weapon skill bonus.
Fair enough.
And yeah, let's counter you.
Why not?
Let's see. I mean, he does have Blade Master.
Does he want to use it on the counter attack?
I mean, nah. Probably wouldn't be a good idea. Oh, also I forgot his custom grip thing. That should have been against 46. Didn't, make it a hit, but still. Yeah, I think this is probably the the longest you've seen someone hold up against Graves, even though Graves isn't actually trying as hard as he could.
Yeah, this guy's lasted longer than a fucking tech priest.
You saw him do his little fucking flurry of splashes, and the guy is still standing.
All right, DCL. Let's move on with this. I am not left-handed. Switch to your main hand.
Yeah, if you could stop interrupting, please. Alright, faint.
All right. Oh, goes through.
Yeah?
Actually, I weapon master that. Why not?
You can only use that on a fail.
Oh, I
Spend
mean,
a
wouldn't
fate
that
point.
be a failed test?
Opposed tests are weird. I mean, I guess technically, yeah. But,
Just spend a fate point and who cares?
I don't have another fate point. I only have 2, remember?
Oh my god. You fucking weren't kidding about death looming near.
Yeah.
yeah. So you can more predict his feint. At this point, let's just risk it for the biscuit. Lightning attack. Blade Master reroll. No.
The biscuit tried. All right. Once again, even though his parry is proven to be amazing. Actually, I think I do have to feint him. I think I have to try to feint him. He's proven his parry's pretty good. So yeah, I'll use the feint action. All right.
Ooh.
Managed to beat him.
Yep.
Let's go for that feint. Let us go for that lightning. Let's go for. Let's just reroll with Blade Master.
Oh god, this is a
I'm
really
trying.
good fight.
Okay, there we go. At least 4 hits.
Yeah, as you slip past his guard that final time, he drops the blade and says, I yield.
You can't see it because of the skull mask, but Graves smiles, but he will bring a hand over to the sword master, pat him on the shoulder, and go,
A good show, my friend. A very good show. You dance better than many I have fought with.
Your sword is greater than any mere man's that has ever walked this world.
I thank you. Though my sword was not honed for mere vanity, I have only ascended to such heights because it serves a higher purpose.
Indeed. Vanity alone would never carry a man to such a masterful sword.
Sir, you're bleeding. Might I take a look at that? I'm a doctor.
No. This is a scar I will bear with pride.
Indeed. It is simply a flesh wound.
pan out to him missing an arm.
Yeah, pan out. No, more like pan out to him getting a horrible infection on this shithole and dying.
Look, they're built tough here. He's fine.
Not that he's coughing up blood. This is an actual anime. You don't just cough up blood.
It's fine. If you cough up blood, you don't die. That's the rules. Actually, no.
That-
It's when
no,
you
that's
cough
not
up
how that
blood.
works at all. Even
It's
in
when
anime.
you cough up blood that you're in danger. Anyways, but yes.
I hoped I proved that I have something of worth to teach your daughter, Graves will say, bowing over to the duchy holder. Duchess? Is that the
Yes.
correct term?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes. She'll nod from the balcony, King. Considering for a moment. If we had time, I would wish to draw swords with you myself. But as you said to my swordmaster, you have a purpose.
Indeed.
And what do you think, Emily? Would you take this man as your teacher? I would learn from him. I would not make my swordsmanship his swordsmanship. Master Graves is stronger than I could ever hope to be. But if he would have me, I would learn how to fight against such strength and gain an even greater skill than he.
I would not wish to be so boorish as to simply make you a copy of my fighting style. After all, I would hope it would be the aspiration of any good teacher to have their students surpass them. As you accept my lessons, it is within the very hope that happens that we shall work.
Amelie's eyes twinkle. And, yes, Master. I've every intention to surpass you. Perhaps that'll be how I win that tournament.
The ambition and drive of the young. It is refreshing. If you would, I would ask you make her preparations to travel. If I am to teach her proper, she will have to leave these walls for a time.
Yes. She'll step back from the balcony. As she does, Javert will lean into your ear. Monsieur, I would ask a small favor, if I may.
Of course, you have earned my ear at a minimum.
The Lady Emily. Grant her a purpose even stronger than the sword you give her.
To teach her the skills is simply the first step. To give her the purpose, that is the goal I truly hope to strive for. If I am right, she will do not only your nation, but so many other countless lives a good greater than any could ever hope to give.
Trouble.
This is not just a chance for her, but for us all. But for now, that is all I can say in the matter.
Alright. I think for now we can end scene there. And yeah. You have recruited a sword babu.
I now have a sword, Dodgeroo.
Gonna make her a fucking servant of the Emperor. Good job, DCL. So proud of you.
I will also be right back because I need some water.
Alright. Now, with that taken care of, what next, guys?
Is it space people time yet, or surface people time?
I'm probably space people time. Unless you want to go and be surface people. And you could
Okey-dokey.
just randomly change all of your plans and go and start eating grass. I wouldn't recommend it, but you have the option.
Okay, well, it's time for me and Casa to do our thing, and Snippy to do his.
Yes.
So, a week of in-depth scan. How many tech uses do you want?
Just one.
Help from Casa plus 10.
Yep.
Again? I've rolled twice in this entire session. Both of them were 69.
Well, you can form your search pattern, and well, there are two things. First thing is that at some point you're flying near to the polar region. Or just pick up a faint transmission from the Tau base that interfaces with the well, from the ruins of the Tau base, but interfaces with the transponder. It appears to be the Xeno equivalent of a sext. As a rather busty blue girl is doing rather lewd things on a in front of a recording device.
I suppose I'll just save that and stow it as evidence for Narcia. Obviously, this is a type of Tau flirting, like a Tau flirting mechanism that we may yet use to get insights into them.
Of course. And the second thing is that you detect no other in communication with the distress beacon.
Alrighty. Well, then, unless Narcia objects, this thing is going right into the incinerator. It's Xenos tech, and I have to free the machine spirit.
Cleanse it. Cleanse it. Holy Prometheum.
Right in the Prometheum it goes. I do have more stuff I want to do mechanicusly, but I think it's Narcia's go. For the week that we're doing this, she's in the back beep booping and surviving solely on coffee. It's okay, we're part of an inquisitorial warband. We actually have access to real ass coffee and not recaf.
And stim packs.
Yeah, although
Please do not do more drugs.
Doing drugs.
but
Oh.
having access to real ass coffee is much more tied to you're on a rogue trader's ship than it is to do with your actual jobs.
I mean, fair enough. So yeah, Snippy, it's your go. And then I have something me and you need to do.
Alright then. How goes the decryption of the files?
It's a good question. How do you feel about rolling?
Tech use, Tau, what you want?
I think at this point it's pretty solidly in the realms of a security role.
Wish me luck, guys. I'm not too good at this. Any bonuses? Taking my time, after all.
Is there anyone available that you would trust to allow to assist you?
Well, Eloa and mostly Eloa. I don't think Casa has the clearance for this, unfortunately.
Stop giving me corruption.
However, Eloa is not available.
I can do
Eloa
this.
is
I can do
currently,
this.
I mean, we were still in the bit where we talked about what bonuses you got, but sure, you just go ahead and succeed anyway. Alright. So, you can, you can, after a bit, break the codes. Would you like to start with older information or newer information?
Let's go from older to newer.
Alright, I would suggest you get a notepad ready.
Give me a second. I'll go grab one.
You don't have Notepad on as a program?
No, see, Snippy's getting a physical notepad because that's how he do.
Right, while he's doing that, I'm going to step away real quick.
I like to keep all of my notes in a physical format. And in Greek.
Oh boy. Well, at least you found your girl DCO. How do you feel playing the old master character and you finally found your apprentice?
I'm sorry, I'm still having to wipe away the cum from the carpet.
I understand. I understand, All Might.
And most of the information I'm about to unlock is probably misinformation. But it'll still give us some insight as to what the fuck these people are planning. Well, people is a strong word to use for Tau. But you know what I mean.
But hey, at least I sent you thick Tau porn.
I need to know my enemy in order to fight them better.
I'd send it to the rest of the warband if I wasn't afraid that Merzendi would start handing out corruption for it.
You must fuck your enemies in order to fight them better.
Actually, I could just send it to Juno and just give her more insanity.
It's strictly forbidden to send any pornographic material to the Sisters of Battle for
Yeah.
your own sake and the rest of the crew.
Wait, how does that give me insanity? Oh wait, I guess corruption.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because instead of getting corruption, you just get insanity.
Yay,
oh.
thanks.
You
No,
get
just-
insanity from those fucking out of this world tits. That's how it works.
Sounds accurate.
Ha cha cha.
Listen, blueberries probably shouldn't have Triple H cups, but they do.
Well, it's the Earthcast. They gotta be fertile.
Propaganda, slander, and lies. They do not have teats that big.
I'm back.
That's what you keep
Welcome back,
saying, and
Mercedes.
yet we keep seeing blueberries with enormous knockers. So,
You see what they want you to see. They are masters of misdirection and misinformation.
or maybe
Are they?
Earthcast girls just have huge tits.
Winter, yes. Gods, yes.
Oh, okay.
They are the best at it in setting.
All right,
Okay.
so
Fair enough then.
Savin, compelling argument. Now face the wall.
Should I put my hands on it and my legs spread, or how does this work?
Bam.
You take 13 energy damage to your asshole.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No tolerance for such heresies in my band.
It's not your band. You're like a rhythm guitarist at best.
alright. So, older to newer, you said. So, the logs don't go all the way back. There appears to be a certain point where they just get archived. But what you do have, it's just a list of reports of comings and goings of starships. Just a huge list that goes into quite significant detail about the make and model and analysis of it. Is it a warship? Is it a trade ship? Could it, if it is a trade ship, could it be readily converted into a Q ship? Similar things. Interspersed amongst that are observation. There are supply runners noted, and chief among the supply runners are supplies being sent from here to orate agents, quite specifically described as orate agents, and that seems to be in reference to the heretics that were living in the old fortress monastery. As it goes on, it's militarily valuable. There doesn't seem to be much specific reference to what the tower themselves were doing, other than the occasional report that they are sending a drone with the most recent information on there. It seems to be every 3 months. Every 3 months they just send a specialized drone to take the information they've gathered back to base.
Hmm.
And the base is referred to with a just coded alphanumerical designation. It does not conveniently have a planet's name.
So their patrol routes, where were they like? Do you see any pattern here?
First off, what's up with your mic?
It just fucks up from time to time. Let me restart Discord.
It's because he refuses to let anyone help him get a new mic. And he ends up soldering a bunch of mics together. Isn't that right, Snippy?
I would happily just buy Snippy a new mic.
No, but he refuses.
I know. So DCL, buy a new mic.
I'm
So
working
here's
on
the
it.
thing. I have made 3 microphones, and I own 2 more. And for some reason, Discord and this computer just, after a while, just completely destroys my mic quality. So I have to restart it. I have no idea what's causing it. It's probably an issue with my motherboard. That's fine. I restart and fix everything.
You are still very booming right now.
I don't know how to fix that.
Maybe
Oh.
not have mics that are cobbled together by orc technology?
Hey, my soldering skills is not something that should be judged by mere mortal men. Put a lot of effort into this.
Look, I am genuinely impressed with your ability to fix your shit. Don't get me wrong. But I would also just happily buy you a new mic.
All in good time, my friend. All in good time now.
Never.
He says with no intention to ever let me buy him a new mic.
Yeah. Alright, so, you were asking if there was a pattern, yeah?
Yeah.
There's a pattern in that they send their report every 3 months.
30 months. Okay, I guess that's something. But let's know what kind of calendar they're using.
I mean, I guess.
See, not everyone uses a 30-day calendar, but these guys do. So we're
I
writing
mean,
that down.
they don't necessarily do. They send their reports at a regularly scheduled interval. That could just be 1 Tau month. That could be like a full Tau year. It just happens to be that by the Imperial reckoning, it's every 3 months.
So that means there might still be a recon drone out there, potentially on its way back to the destroyed base. Because it's automated.
No, these are information-carrying drones. They are sent from the base on this planet to wherever their primary base is.
Still could
I
be one up
see.
there.
Yes, we can trace that all the way back. Okay, so putting the data aside, moving on. This is probably misinformation.
Yeah, moving on, eventually you get to, what you would recognize as your own ship, the Mother of Invention coming into system. And, the reporters, even more detailed than the previous ones, it seems, they took a special interest since this vessel made an unexpected landing.
Now, where did they make that landing?
You did at the Fortress Monastery.
They tracked us. They knew we were there. And it caught them by surprise the first time. It's kind of weird how the blogs go only so far as to signify our arrival.
I mean, there is more. It's just you chose to start at the oldest stuff.
Yeah, no, this is the oldest stuff, which means they are also rather recent.
Yes.
Huh. Shit.
You have made, well, or rather, you have made your way through the list of logs, and there isn't really that much interesting, unless you particularly want to get like the tower view on like a patrol of 2 sword class frigates or a merchant ship.
The devil is in the details, Merz.
I mean, sure it is. But
Alright. We can abbreviate that, you're right.
yeah. Um. Yes. From the point of view making your initial landing, things are a bit more frantic. There are records of that they are considering whether they have to move out or not. There is an authorization given by a Tau officer by the name of, by the translated name of Captain Endeavour, that authorizes the watercast to attempt to make contact with the local inhabitants and to try to provide increased security for the listening post.
I remember specifically hearing of Endeavour before. I don't remember exactly if it was while we're studying the space probe or somewhere else, but I remember Captain Endeavour.
Well, you are the man with the notepad.
Not the right note, but apparently.
She was the
Isn't he
captain of
more
that
than a
ship
captain?
that did the warp jump.
Yeah, it's the captain of the big ship. Big dig fucking Tau antagonist. Okay. We know his ship.
Her ship.
Heresy, whatever. It's ship.
I only really, have that burned into my mind because drunk Merz made a real big deal out of her sexuality.
Did I?
Yeah, you loudly proclaimed that she was a faggot.
Oh.
Really emphasized the hard F there.
It is a Xeno. It is an abomination, and it will die when we get our hands on it.
Or can add it to Juno's harem.
I mean, we could actually. That would be an infinitely better solution, but I cannot permit this in character.
Counterpoint, rogue trader.
We might be onto something.
Alright. Anyway, yes. Things get outright panicked when you come back and you start making other landings. And there's another authorization from Endeavour for a mission to attempt to interrupt your diplomatic contact with the natives.
Is that them trying to murder Juno?
Dates look like they line up, yeah.
Yeah, they're gunboat diplomacy, but without actually knowing or having the balls to pull it off properly. Good to know they have this all written down. That's what they call it. Diplomatic mission. Hey, June almost got diplomacied by the Tau.
Well, no, they interpreted what Juno was doing as a diplomatic mission, and they attempted to interrupt it.
Well, it's pretty accurate.
Pretty accurate. Okay, further on the logs.
Yes, once that mission failed, he they started fortifying here, and then once they received word that the orate facility is under attack, Endeavour gives the command to prepare an evacuation.
Their what facility?
The
Orate?
orate facility.
Alright, that's where their human collaborators were. The Space Marine Fortress.
Yes.
Hmm.
And dispatch a final drone with the information and await rendezvous at Duran.
Duran, I assume, is an LZ.
Just going to bring you over to the sector map. There is a planet named Duran
Oh
in the
no.
Binor subsector that is considered officially uninhabited. There would be no significant Imperial presence there.
Yay, more
It is
planets.
right nearby where the Conglomerate of Light makes their headquarters.
Might not be misdirection, but I still propose our original plan should not be to go and immediately try to attack a stronghold, but disassemble strongholds along the way and go down.
Yep. A far better idea. But
After all,
no.
that would be our plan if one of us was an Imperial commander, and actually had, a crusade behind us.
And this is not the kind of information would be too happy or eager to hand over to Imperial commanders because there's always the danger of it just be smoke and mirrors.
No, I do have. I have thought a lot about this at work, but I'll bring it up on my turn.
Feel free to bring it up now.
All right. Well, we need to have a military force, and we need to have a ship that we can reliably, have under control. And I'm not sure unless our good Juno gets in closer with the rogue trader, we're going to need to find more different vessels to go to different places. I do have an idea as how to we could get to our goal, but after this, our path should our first place we should go is Vindalex. Not only so that my character can advance to the rank of Majos, but so we can replace the troops we've lost. And requisition Scutari. I heard one person doing a breakdown of the fucking Adeptus Mechanicus say Scutari, and I've been saying that for years now.
I mean,
You and me both.
that's how I say it as well. That is how a double I like that really should be pronounced.
People say it's Scutari, but I still say Scutari. So we need to find passage to Vindalex so we can not only gather more troops, but so I can fix fucking Graves' legs.
Also, you need to install knives in his hands.
I mean, that too, but also bringing up his agility again.
Although it's in that case, it's much more enabling him to spend XP on increasing agility again.
Yep. So, in my opinion, while it would make sense if we were anything other than what we are, we would go to Duran, but we're Inquisitors, and we don't have that kind of power. We don't have, like the Imperial Navy behind us, nor is the joystick that Juno controls attached to an entire Rogue Trader fleet. There's just the one.
He has a good ship, but it is only the single ship.
It's true. It's good for rogue tradering and for, inquisitorying, but not so much for going to fight the Tau, face to face. We don't really want to do that.
I'd rather prefer direct face-on-face punch-up and try to dismantle anything they have in outlying systems and take out their power base, and then maybe over that course gain more influence and then be able to call in a kill team or something like that to help us out. Because remember, we as fucking Ordo Xenos, we are the people with the greatest ability to call in the best alien hunters the galaxy has ever known. Deathwatch is terrifyingly powerful.
She speaks the true. They're probably not as scary as the Grey Knights, but you really don't want to call in a Grey Knight.
I'd rather not have everyone either brainwashed or them to crack open Juno for special protection, even though their armor provides that exact same protection. Just because, some of the writers are kind of a lot of violently misogynistic.
Yeah, that was one of Matt Ward's most special bits of lore.
They spent years telling us about how good their hexagrammic wards were, that they never got corrupted, blah, blah, blah. But then all of a sudden they needed the pure blood of sisters, so they cracked them open like eggs.
Yeah.
Yep, we all remember that.
Oh
It's
no,
not
it got
canon
weird.
It's not canon anymore, but it was still fucking dumb.
That was
I mean, remember GW's view is that everything is canon, not everything is true. So it's still canon. They just haven't published it in any of the books since then.
Yeah, that. Alright now.
Yeah. So, Narcia, that is what what you can get from the Central Tower stuff.
Perfect. I will re-encrypt and archive the file with a little memo mentioning the conditions in which we received this information. because there were very suspicious circumstances around this intel and should not be taken as 100% reliable. Record keeping is incredibly important.
You know, Narcia, how would you feel about making me a logic test?
Yes, I would love a logic test. I am shit at logic, but god damn it, I'll try. I will try again. What does I get a 50? 94, yes. Herp, derp, 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 derp.
Okay, carry on.
Fuck.
I assume once the week has passed and everyone gets back together, you will tell the rest of the warband the stuff you found.
Yes. Wait a minute. Yeah, no, yes. There's no way I could have saved that roll. My Tactica Imperialis is only a single pip.
Alright. Stray, if you wanted to, you could try the logic test instead of Snippy.
You are so much better at this than I am. I don't do logic, I just do a lot of typing.
Fate points. I am going to spend a fate point and succeed with 6 degrees of success.
Alright. So, yeah, as you surmised, Duran is probably misdirection. Indeed, it's probably worse than just misdirection. It's probably an outright trap. Because that's the only time they actually mention a planet's name in full, rather than doing an alphanumeric designation. But maybe, indeed quite possibly, the whole reason they made the base look like they left in a hurry was so it looked like they rushed. And so that would sell the slip that they didn't. But, you know, the engineer or the recorder, he just made a mistake and put in the real name rather than looking up the code. Because he was in a hurry. They didn't even have time to collect all of their guns, right?
Mm.
That's probably what they were trying to get you to think, rather than there actually being any more hidden bases.
Ow. Whoops. Well, I declare this planet free of the Tau. Let's leave.
I mean, there's other stuff I need to do here before we leave.
Boo on you.
This is stuff I've been saying
No,
that I need to do
I'm
for
kidding. Go.
missions. So, is everyone else done doing their stuff?
I think so.
Yep.
Alright. I will request transit back to the Mother of Invention.
Sure.
And in doing so, I will go to the chief. What is? I keep forgetting. They're not engineers, right? The people that run starships, the Mechanicus that run starships. They have a specific name.
Um.
We'll call him the Engineer Prime for now. Then.
Yeah, I think that is actually just the name.
Okay. For some reason, I could have sworn they were a little bit higher ranked, but fair enough. And I will summon Narcia and Casa to my side and then make my way down to the Mechanicus Sanctum, to the Engine Seer Prime.
All right.
Engine Seer Prime, may I speak with you?
Ah, adept. If
You are bound by our ancient laws as I am, and as the two beside me are. As we speak on the planet below, the voice of Mars approaches true transcendence and apotheosis. As such, after he has traveled the path of the Omnissiah, others must take his place. You know these laws, yes?
if
By the will of the voice of Mars, and by laws that neither of us can break, he has recommended two for ascension into our ranks. As such, we are bound to bring them to the vessel, provide them with the true flesh and the information needed to run their monastery, and then to contact a Forge World to send proper instructors here to assess their underlings.
once more, this one affirms.
I request a vessel laden with the symbols of the Adeptus Mechanicus, so that we may begin this procedure proper, and, like the ancient allegory of the cave, return our brothers and sisters to the fold.
Such shall be done. Lead them anew to the light.
Omnissiah's will be done.
Makes the sign of the cock.
Alright, and I'll start walking away and gesture for Casa and Scythia to join me. So, the Mechanicus will return to this world. Every member of the so-called sword sages will be measured and valued for their worth. Those found wanting will be made into, likely, Scitaria. All others will have their crude implants replaced and upgraded. It is time for us to begin our work. We have done the Inquisition's work first, as is our charge. But now the Omnissiah demands of us even more service.
How much of that are we equipped to do?
We may raise up two of their member. I do not think we have the equipment for the rest, but an atropathic plea will be sent to the nearest Forge World, and unlike the weak and twisting grinds of the bureaucracy of the Imperium, everything falls into place in the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Well, alright then. So yeah, you can get a shuttle laden with Mechanicus goodies. I mean, I appreciate that's not quite the proper name for them, but
No,
it's what they are.
yeah, that's really what they are. Just like every faction in the Imperium, the Mechanicus takes themselves far too seriously.
Yeah.
And so, presumably, can we? If you don't want, we don't have to go through the entire interaction. Eloa can simply land flanked by Casa and Narci and inform the two senior members of the Sword Sages that they are to receive their true flesh and no longer be burdened by the disgusting, wriggling meat.
Yes, if it is alright, I would prefer to fast forward.
That is totally fine. So,
I remember. I have to also get my MIU at this planet.
so I will lead the changing of their weak flesh, give them, proper and new and not 5,000-year-old recycled robes of Mars. And then finally, I would like to consult the Astropathic choir.
Yeah. You have suitable authority to badger the remaining astropaths to send a message.
The 5,000-year-old robes, you don't understand, need to be encased in glass and preserved throughout all millennia.
Yes. Like I said, the relic pile.
Yes. And so, I don't need to be taken back to the main page, but to the closest Forge world, I would like to send a message. Given, and I will state my rank and my homeworld, and inform them that another world has been returned to us, just as it was in the Great Crusade. Our fallen and in some places retrograde brothers and sisters have been brought back to the light, and we require an Arch Mechanicus to visit the system and for representatives of the Adeptus Mechanicus to judge and weigh the ones in system. And I will put in a recommendation for them for even throughout 5 millennia, even with the destruction of their world by, as we Mechanicus have, and this is all in binary, as we Mechanicus have always known, the weak fleshlings that assumed too quickly and did not realize what the heat of the Omnissiah's forge were. They will need guidance back to the path, and they managed to keep a venerable dreadnought in operation all these times. One of the angels of death who has joined the Omnissiah in ascension.
Alright. I think you will actually have to translate that into flesh speak for the astropaths.
maybe leave out the part about Dreddy then.
If that is a part, then I will tell them that among the in the chambers of the one who is achieving apotheosis, I have left information.
All right.
And I will leave a I assume so there's the the stasis tank of the dude. I'm going to leave a data pad neatly placed atop it and will only inform the two that we have granted full rank into the Adeptus Mechanicus the knowledge of what it is and what it contains and the proper procedures for anyone to access it. If someone tries to access it without the proper authorization, well, I can spare them a couple of hot shots.
Okay then. Yeah. Um. Nothing in that sounds like it would be impossible for you. So.
Okie dokie. Well, then I have done my duty as a tech executor.
Yes.
So, now Savin, we can leave.
Yay!
Narcia.
Well then, while we're leaving, I do remember saying that I would start working on the destroyed carapace armor.
True, but Narcia,
Hmm?
I need you to start filling out the paperwork for a contingent of Imperial Guard to. This world needs to be welcomed back into the Imperium, and you are the one who knows the paperwork best. We need to send a detachment of Imperial Guard immediately to defend against any Tau reincursion.
Well then, say no more. I'm already on it.
Speaking of people responsible for this planet, I feel like we should probably talk to Rogue Trader Bro, Augie, about what his plans are going forward here.
Fair enough. I will inform the Inquisitor of my actions and state that they were within the purview of the Adeptus Mechanicus, and that Narcia has already started the paperwork filed to get his planet defensive troops.
All right. So, Juno, if you ask him. Ah, yes, Juno. I have already made some preparations. Once it became clear that the planet was at least mostly secure, I sent an Astra telepathic message back to Port Moore. Even now, they are furnishing a vessel with all of the supplies this world will need to resume its service to the throne. And more, one of my cousins, Octavius Lupus, should be making his way through the Zambique Passage. I intend to leave him as my overseer to ensure the locals do not forget their obligations.
Ah, so you don't intend to stay then?
I have a duty to perform, both to the wider Imperium in exploration and one to you.
Oh?
If I were to tether myself to this world, while I could do much in person, I would not be able to do all that is required of me.
Oh, I confess I am somewhat relieved to hear that you will be continuing your captaincy rather than uh, going groundside. The idea of my inquisitorial duties taking me away from you it has weighed on my mind since we confirmed the Tau of Lethe.
Perhaps we will have to face that in time, but not now. Not yet.
Juno's just gonna smile and go in for the hug.
Yes.
Alright, guys, transport secured.
All right. Fucking Juno controls the joystick.
She do, though.
All right. So, his cousin's going to be planetary governor. We got a colony ship on the way. And if Narcia does the paperwork, we might have an Imperial Guard between 5 months and 50 years.
Yeah, it's about as good as we could hope for as far as resolving this planet.
The Adeptus Mechanicus is on the way, but despite Eloa's assertions, the Adeptus Mechanicus is just as slow. But she's also a librarian that lived in a very efficient system. She doesn't know how ponderous other Mechanicum worlds can be.
Yeah. Or even the lathe worlds once you get outside of the really efficient bits.
Yeah, she didn't know that. Sheltered librarian that one day was trying to track down like weird anomalies in data stacks, saw a plasma burst and woke up and was sent off to fight aliens.
Yeah.
Haha, you were a nerd.
Oh yeah, turbo nerd. So we are on Lethe right now. So I would suggest us do short translates into the warp to get to Vindalex.
You do have to go via Port Moore to drop off the Stormies.
Right. We need to drop off our boys. And then we are going to go to Vindalex and we're going to get some Scutarii. So, uh.
Yeah, you could actually go up the Lyzades passage. That's a route.
Short little jumps, because the longer the jump, the more danger it is. So, eat, and then we do the fucking 32-day long one. But after that, we won't have that long of a jump because we're going to be going, like this. so we're never gonna have to face another really, really long jump like that unless something happens.
Okay, so plan is Vindalex and then Schindelgeist.
Yeah.
If one has any objections, speak them up now.
Something I forgot, actually. Snippy.
Jawohl.
I have a handout to show you.
But
I'm
only
ready.
Snippy. And it's only Greek goatsies.
And yes, when you are that's a conversation that we'll actually have to have. You would both have to spend influence and convince him.
How much influence for a venerable psychic dreadnought?
I don't know. Probably quite a bit.
Alright, so
I mean, I
really
feel
quick.
like worth.
Alright.
Can I give Snippy this thing first?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just secret.
Yeah, I mean, there was something I was trying to say out loud first. Yeah, Snippy, you would have, probably noticed this file when you were cross-referencing stuff from the Heretic base with the Town 1 to check that all the dates line up and establish that yes, this is in fact you it's referring to. Yes, that was when they tried to kill Juno. There's a file in there that wasn't there before.
That doesn't seem.
Air gapper machine.
Huh. What do you mean this wasn't there before? Because that. Oh, I see why this is here now. Deadman switch.
Welcome back, Bob. I thought you were just being real quiet. You didn't really miss much. We've just been wrapping up the thing. Snippy just received a secret message from Merzendi, and we're going to quickly discuss what to do about the dreadnought.
I see, Merzendi. I see.
Yeah, and we can discuss that real quick in a bit. I want to at least get to Vindalex and, for fuck's sake, spend the XP and influence I've been saving up for like 3 sessions.
Yeah, we're probably not getting there tonight.
No, there's no way.
You say that, but we've gone 2 hours beyond this point before.
We have, but one of the big things I will be having to do is, roll warp stuff. And
Fair.
that's generally better to do between sessions.
Yeah, just in case we go back in time 5 years or something.
Or forward 5.
Yay!
Or you merge with a Space Hulk. Or Augie completely fucks the roll up and you emerge in, like, the Cadian sector.
Yay! Just in time to watch Cadia fall before the guard does.
Okay, that will never fall.
Anyways, so is Snippy's thing something we should know about now, or is this
That's
something
up to
for him
Snippy.
to worry about?
Yep. I'm not gonna be a big fucking heretic about this because I don't like these people much. So I will at least bring it up with Eloa. Because as my fellow Mechanicus, I feel like he has a level enough head for this. Eloa, may I have a moment of your time.
We are preparing to enter warp. What do you require?
So, remember that Arch Heretic that our forces eliminated planetside?
I was informed, but I was undergoing ascension at the time.
Same here. I'm gonna hand you over data slate. And by data slate, I mean your PMs on Discord.
I can just set it so
Yeah, send it.
Drake can read the handout as well.
They're
Why are they so
trying to
sneaky?
sow the seeds of discontent amongst our ranks. But it is a lead.
How very interesting.
It's a smug son of a bitch, isn't it?
Logic dictates that this is only one of two things: a trap or a hidden ally. Strange. Once we get to Port Ma, we should use what influence we have and procure some Tep guard.
Might be a good call. I don't trust these people one bit. It's this kind of spiel, especially this part, where they start proclaiming of the different ways they're gonna save the Imperium. I've seen that one too many times, especially now that we know for sure that we're dealing with Tau. Puts me on edge. I would not work with anyone who openly associates themselves with Xenos and their vile corruption.
They may be other members of the Inquisition, or what do you know of the Lord's Dragon?
Not as much as I would like.
They are supposedly mere legends where I come from, but apparently they control the whole of the Calixis sector, techno assassins, and you are not from where I am. Have you heard of the Venatori?
Oh, now those I have.
Yes, far superior to the Skitari. They are not mind controlled. They are warrior tech priests, all supposedly under the control of the Lord's Dragon. Now, I'm not saying this is them by no means, but there may be a copy of them in this sector. In either event, I appreciate you coming to me first, but if a warband is to succeed, there must be some level of trust. We must inform the rest. But
We
first,
should, because it is very likely might have also received similar messages personalized to their tastes.
but why me? That is what I do not understand.
Huh? You are the other highest member of the Mechanicus upon this ship.
But that is what leads me to suspect perhaps Shadow Mechanicus involvement. Surely, otherwise, it would be directed towards you, the throne agent.
Well, Shadow Mechanicus involvement is, I think, guarantee here. Remember, they're Karotech, after all. Shadow Mechanicus has their hands very deep in whatever this is. They are enamored with the Xenotech.
In any event, it profits us nothing to keep this a secret from the rest of the warband.
Indeed, we should set up a little meeting to inform them and have them prepare accordingly. Portmore might be very, very nasty and sudden stop for us if this is not handled delicately.
We can trust nothing and no one at this point. This is deeper than I would have thought. Have them stagger in slowly at this port of the engine bay, and I will give her the coordinates. It is extremely loud, the entire room vibrates, but we should all be able to communicate through Vox, and the shielding around that area is enough that no transmission can go outward.
10-4. I
Oh,
will also
and
bring the stummer, just in case. We need
we
to make
still
things
have
more
those.
secure.
We still have those anti-rad pills, yes?
Oh, plenty.
Tell them to take those before. It is quite close to the engine. A precaution, but you know how those who are mostly flesh can be.
I know. I have quite a bit of flesh on me, so not only will I take the tablet, I will also put on my survival suit for this occasion. Right then. I'll start preparing for the meeting.
Stagger them slowly, however, you can send in our uh, fucking what's his name? Ceiko?
Seiko,
Yes?
yes.
Yeah, you can send him in without provision. He is very skilled at the stealth. Just tell him to come in quietly.
I'm already here. That's
He was on the room all along.
Metal Gear.
2 hours time. I'll see you then.
I'm the
Nod.
Metal Gear Solid to Graves' Metal Gear Revengeance.
And now I can switch out of Technolingua and start calling everyone to the meeting with pills and everything without exactly telling them what it's for. For all they know, I could just wanted to put them in a secluded place and shoot them at the back of the head. Which I would totally never do, guys. Trust me.
Yeah, totally. And that's why when Juno gets your message, she's gonna look at that and text back, no. Go back to sleep.
It's fine. Because then I'll hand it to you personally. By walking my way all the way to your room.
You out of bed by your skimpy nightgown.
And we should bring Casa along too. In fact, we should all go together.
All members of the warband. The warband also includes Jeff.
Excuse me, why do you just assume I'm going to go?
Yeah, no, nobody wants to go into obvious fucking execution room.
I mean, I am going to go into it.
Because you're ordered to by your superior.
Yeah, obviously I'm going to do it. I just want to know why you assume I was going to do it.
Because you are a good soldier, and a good soldier follows orders. Now,
Oh, everything lines up here. I go into the room.
That's my boy.
You go into the room and you'll find Eloa standing in the center. Her mechadendrils and mechadendrites slowly wreathing around and fixing various parts of the machine room. And, she'll nod. We wait for the rest.
I'm gonna go and drag Juno.
That mental image.
So Juno's bedroom is the Rogue Trader's bedroom. It is, since that weird fucky vision, it is quite secured.
If I were you, I would tell her that someone other than you is calling the meeting.
Or make a security check.
Oh, hey, I just want to give Juno some coffee. Yeah, just get a thing of recap, enough for everyone. Oh, hey, I got some for Juno, and I got some for the Rogue Trader, and beat Juno over the head with the tray to drag her out the door.
And Cassa's gonna be with us too. It'd be a shame if you were not there for Cassa. Cassa might need you after all. It's a very dangerous part of the ship.
That's even better reason for me not to go. Fucking in can. So what are you gonna do? Is Juno's asleep in the Rogue Trader's bedroom, which is secured and probably has guards. What do?
Well,
Guards and an auto turret.
Yay!
personally walk up to the room and request her presence instead of rescheduling the meeting. Because the Inquisition works on its own time schedule.
One of the guards will just say that the lady sister is asleep.
Squint! I was not asking. Do I need to flash the Rosarius?
Set.
They will begin the ceremonial process of ringing the big bell. Juno, there is no sleeping through the big bell.
What the hell is that? Oh,
The big bell. It's a special resonator that sets the whole bedroom vibrating.
Worth it.
yes, I can feel that, but why?
In case of emergencies that I have somehow been sleeping through.
Oh no. Just gonna start getting dressed. God damn it, every time. Last time it was Cycles, now it's this. What's going on now? Go to the door, open it.
There are a couple of scared-looking soldiers and a Narcia.
Narcy, the joke wasn't funny the first time. It's extra not funny now.
just look at you without saying anything. And then take a step forward.
Narcy, it's... Oh, you're serious, aren't you?
Nod.
It's full of radiation.
You have power armor. You could bring it with you if you like.
Yeah. All right, just a moment. Just gonna go over to the dressing room and actually step into her armor. Tell Augie, apparently I am needed down in the engine room, covered in radiation. Don't know why, but apparently Narcy's serious, so... He'll forgive me, but I'll just be, Like I don't know if I'll just be a minute. Harumph.
I will arrange breakfast for when you return.
Thank you, you are a sweetheart. And before Juno puts her helmet on, she will give him and smooch, then click, yes, and get her hand flamer and sword attached to her hips, because who the fuck knows what's going on, and come on out. Okay, what's going on?
I'll tell you when we get to the engine room.
Oh god. Emperor's name, what, oh.
It's called operational security. If
Savin.
you read any of the dossiers I gave you, you'd know about it.
Juno falls in line, intentionally staying behind Narcy as she can, because she's walking a little funny.
Oh god, I'll pay no mind to that. Just keep my super serious inquisitorial face on, menacing innocent passerbys, as I do.
Don't be silly. This is the Imperium. There is no such thing as innocence.
Only
degrees
degrees
of
of
guilt.
guilt. Do I smell a degree of guilt in this room? Do I? Well, I guess not.
Alright. Is anyone else going to object to meeting in the cancer room?
No?
Good.
Oh yeah.
I was already having my morning jog through it. I don't understand the problem.
On our way down, I'm just gonna jab fucking Narcy and Casa with anti-rad meds.
So, we taking the double dose.
Yeah, you didn't need your hair anyway.
My hair is synthetic at this point.
Exactly.
It's a good wig.
Thank you.
So how's everyone at this morning?
I don't even know what time it is anymore.
There is no time. We're aboard the ship.
It is 2200 hours.
Well, I have found out that I do not go to sleep so much as have a sleep mode. So that has been interesting.
Oh, you poor thing.
Enough. We are faced with an abnormality, one such as which can only be discussed among the warband. We are on our way to Port Ma. By morning, I will have finished my preparations with the Engineer Prime, and we will enter the warp and shortly arrive. Here is the information that has been passed from Narcy to me. Merz?
Yep.
This message was triggered upon the death of the Arch Heretic. Interesting how when I was first going through the files, I didn't spot it right away.
We will give you a time to read and absorb it. Let me know when you are done so we may discuss options.
Yeah, and I will just read it out for people. My congratulations, Adept Delta Omicron. The video opens on a figure you recognize, one of the leaders of the conspiracy, the assassin Mayoral. He sat in front of a picked recorder, leaning comfortably in a chair and rolling a low stick in his fingers. Well, I presume, Adept Omicron. She seemed competent enough not to die, but I suppose it is possible. Tech Priest, if you are not Adept Omicron, hand this recording to whomsoever is the senior-most surviving member of the Inquisition. I shan't wait. You may pause the vid if necessary. He takes a puff on the low stick and then, leaving it in his mouth, steeples his fingers. So, since you're seeing this, King is dead. Elsewise, my data sprites would not have reconstructed this file. As I said, my congratulations. He has been a foe to the Imperium for longer than I care to recall, and has defeated many attempts on his life. He takes out the low stick, pointing it at the picked recorder. You have demonstrated remarkable skill and dedication. In the time you had before King joined me in leaving Lethe, you couldn't have mustered a large force. What? A regiment of conscripted dock guards? Maybe a company of stormtroopers? A single tank? With that, you eliminated an arch-heretic and all of the forces under him. You're the type of people that we need. If we are going to fix the Imperium, to save it, the bureaucrats, the parasites, the incompetents. I'd invite you to hear me out. There's a bar in the underdocks of Port Moore, the Saint's Broken Mug. Ask for the Grail's Eye cocktail. And before you plan, no, I won't be there in person. He smiles and stands, dropping the low stick and grinding it underfoot. Well, I've a void ship to catch. Toodaloo.
Had we not
And
needed
Toodaloo, unironically.
Have we not needed this for evidence? I will crush it in my palm and be done with it.
Oh,
There
That-
are many.
does make a modicum of sense that he believes that, anyway. Do you remember that assassin, the false assassin, we fought in the communications tower of the monastery? Psychotic as he was, he believed he was a servant of the Emperor. And I think he meant that earnestly.
And therein lies the problem. There are many factions within our glorious Imperium, and we may have stumbled upon a double blind. We
Hmm.
cannot ignore this evidence, but it is just as likely that it is a very manipulative heretic. I have already spoken at length with Narcia about it. Once we reach Fort Ma, we will recruit some tech guard. I suggest each and any of you think of ways that we can overcome a disadvantage such as this.
Remind me again. Was this the one who had stabbed me in the shoulder?
Yes, we
And-
fought him in the monastery the first time.
And much
Ah.
worse has been done in the name of the Emperor of the Omnissiah when both sources were mistaken. But
Just look at the
if it is a
planet.
traitor, it must. If it is a traitor, it must be rooted out. And if it is an ally we have accidentally, it is very possible that we've stumbled upon the plans of another member of the Order of Inquisition, or even deeper members of the Adeptus Mechanicus in an attempt to thwart the Tau.
I believe
Truth must be found.
it's an obvious trap.
No, I don't think so.
I think so indeed. If he came to us confident and had to run retreating with his tail behind his legs humbled, perhaps if he had faith that we might be able to kill this so-called king or whatever he was named, he would set this up as a means to try to get us. After all, force would have failed at that point.
It is never that easy. And on top of that, we know that it is quite possibly a trap, which means that we can spring one of our own. After all, otherwise we can ignore this information and continue onwards.
If I may, I think you're overthinking things. Which admittedly is the job of the Inquisition, but hear me out. If he truly believes what he's saying, perhaps he is, indeed. Let's call him a well-intentioned extremist. I know, a contradiction in terms. But
Oh, I need a good laugh.
it's possible he thinks he is helping the Empire, corrupted and twisted as he is,
Of
and
course
simply
he
wants to recruit us. He thinks we do too, and thus we can be useful to him. He needs to
Of
be killed
course.
and destroyed and all of his network disassembled. But it is sad to think that he might, in his own twisted way, think that he is a loyal servant of the Empire. Emperor?
Of course he thinks he is a loyal servant, just as heretics believe that their path is to true power, just as Xenos believe not that humanity is simply arrogant and worth squashing out and nothing more.
Enough.
Quite right.
We can debate until the very stars burn out. Now is the time for planning and logic. Once
The
we get to
logic,
Fort Ma, I and Narcia will recruit Tech Guard to aid us. Even if it is a trap, we can learn much from it by springing it and then analyzing the make.
And if it's not a trap, we can learn more about this Mayor fellow. Perhaps what makes him tick, so that we might disassemble him.
you need not learn about a dead man such as he.
No, you're wrong, Graves. If we learn about him, we can learn to think like him, or at least
I do,
how he might think. Because this
do not
organization of him stretches beyond just his corporeal person. You've seen that he has whole groups of assassins, heretics, even Xenos working together. We need to
I do not
understand
wish
what he's doing and why, and this is a chance to do so.
I do not wish to understand why he thinks what he thinks, or he is simply wrong. The galaxy is a gigantic place, filled with many lives that live colored histories beyond our comprehension. Even if we are to grasp this madman, there will still be other cults, other misfits, others that spit on the true path of the Emperor and go astray. This man
And
and his organization are only alive so long as they stay without the reach of my blade. It shall not be for long.
you
Yes,
are
I mean,
not listening. To go and learn nothing is not our place. We are members of the Inquisition. We are not stormtroopers. We are not Astra Militarum. We are those who uncover the truth and then purge it so that none may be defiled by it. to simply advance and vanquish and burn everything, one will go to ground and the others will simply remain sprouted elsewhere. We must tear the very roots from the ground and not torch the branches.
To put it more simply, we need to know where he is so we can put him in reach of your blade.
I understand your points. I simply disagree with them wholeheartedly. If you wish to understand this madman so that you may better burn out his roots, I will not stop you. Of course, I will do my job and aid you. But my ears are shut to this madman.
Understand? No. Apply logic? Yes. And again, all of this is sophistry, which I do not care about. I require tactics.
Well,
It's
then
not a
why did
question
you
of
call us here if you don't want to discuss it? There's nothing. We don't even know where this
require-
place is.
We know where it is. We know we can go to Port Ma. We can find informants. We have the endless tactics of the Inquisition and our endless reach there. It is our stronghold. The only question is, what can we bring to the table to ensure that when, or if or when the trap springs, what we can do to counter it? I have the tech guard of the Adeptus Mechanicus. No one?
Well, 322nd have to go back, but nothing says they can't necessarily stop by a bar on the way.
I think the problem, Eloa, is that we're not at Port Maw yet. Once we're there, we can develop tactics, but here in the engine room, there's not much we can really do to assess the situation or gather resources.
And the problem
Gather
I'm-
resources, no, but begin our planning, yes. Surely there are those among the Ministorum that can aid us.
Perhaps,
Well,
but I would have to be at Port Maw to interact with them to, ask if they'll help.
if you wish to speak of planning, then you will need to plan around the issue of my body if I am to be there. I do
What?
not particularly care to go to a field where the enemy controls where my body can be overrun by tech heresy. The metal may be strong, but it is susceptible to their ways.
I do not understand.
Say he has a trap. He is a heretic, yes? We have seen as much. He would have ways of overriding and controlling and shutting down technology, if he so chooses.
From what we've seen, he is no Magos. He is an incredibly advanced cyber assassin, but his knowledge thus far has never gone beyond simply the tactics to kill.
But you speak of his organization, his roots, the people supporting him. Certainly he did not get that cyberware himself with no knowledge or connections.
Which is why this meeting was called to begin with.
Yes, and the point I am bringing is that if I am to be brought along as a countermeasure, then I will need something to help make sure that they do not override or shut down my new metallic body.
You understand that while you are mostly machine, the same is for me, and as far as I know, there is no perfect counter. But if it comes to that of the unnatural variety, I have already taken care of that. Narcia.
The unguents of warding, I presume.
Quite.
I still have it on me.
When we were in Port Ma last, I procured an ancient method of warding the body against psyker abilities. Narcia can apply them to your form and render you resistant to their attack.
It is a step.
Anyways, is there anything else anyone can bring up? Any tactics, perhaps ideas we can bring up before we enter Port Ma and into the belly of the beast?
Hmm. Hmm.
I got nothing.
Very well. By the way, this was a chance for you guys to bring up like requisitioning troops that
I know.
We
you
can't
are
do that
connected
until
to.
we're at port. Oh,
But
Well-
you can bring up the idea of it and can be discussed.
Casa will bring something up. And this may be a silly idea, but old Eustace might be more willing to come with us if he knows we're going to deal with one of the ringleaders.
Eloa will, you know, s- uh, scratch her helmet at that thought. Indeed, will lack greatly in subtlety, but if we could form a clever way of delivering him to that level and get as close as we can before springing him, yes.
I think he could fit in a cargo crate.
We will lose much in our subtlety, as it were, but the overwhelming power of a dreadnought would surely give us an advantage, especially with the tech guard alongside.
And there is also no
Hold
way they'll
on.
be able to predict his existence because it's a dreadnought.
To
And
be fair, though,
closely
aren't
kept
the
secret.
Flame Falcons prescribed? Won't inquisitorial forces who are less open-minded than us just destroy him if they have the chance?
You think they even recognize him? His chapter has been extinct for almost millennia.
We recognized
Yeah,
him.
I can tell you for a fact, if our old boss, Inquisitor Jarl, lays eyes on him, you'll all be excommunicate traitores before the sunset, before the solar cycle ends.
Yeah.
Narcy, how far are you on the paperwork?
For him, very far. For the guard, I'm almost done.
I think it would be best to just keep him on the ship until we're ready to deploy groundside to somewhere with more
Look,
violence and less inquisition.
quickest
have
thing I
to
can do for Eustace is add him, potentially get him added to the Death Watch. But that's not up to me. That's up to Reeve.
We will have to spend an incredible amount of resources to bring a venerable dreadnought with us. The ammunition, the maintenance is. Even if he were to agree, we would have to tap into our inquisitorial resources.
To be honest, the amount of violence we get up to, I think having a dreadnought is worth almost any expense.
Mhm.
Mm.
Very well. We can recruit him, but finally, Is there any other idea anyone has? Any opportunity to recruit different troops?
Once we get to Port Maw, I can ask around.
I mean, Port Mars, where you were confirmed as a sister of battle, right?
Yes, I will be indeed ask the sisters if they're willing to help, though, again, with Eustace and also all the other bullshit we've gotten up to, having the actual militant arm of the Sisterhood aboard could be problematic.
Yes. Yes, it could be.
They can be kept away from the Mechanicum Sanctum.
I hope so.
You and you are the only one who has ever been allowed within the Sanctum Mechanicus, just as I am not allowed within your section of the vessel, or even the
What?
section of that planet.
Oh, planet. You're welcome to stop by the chapel anytime.
You say that, but I'd prefer the Proctor not to flamethrower me. As useless as that would be.
Would that I could be bathed in holy promethium. But yes, point being is that unfortunately the troops I'm connected to probably won't get along with Eustace. I could ask some of my father's old friends in the Knights, and they might have an errant or two they could put us in touch with, but again, subtlety and also violence.
Fairly certain the knight could not fit in the place we're going.
Never gonna dreadnought.
At least Dreadnought can fit in a corridor, like down the main streets of Portmore. At night, no chance.
A knight is like 6 times the size of a dreadnought, dude.
Yeah, I know. That's why Juno's like, no, this is stupid. Why are you asking me?
Because this is the option for you to say, yeah, we can get Sisters of Battle on here.
Yeah, I did. When we get to Port Mall, maybe we can ask, but also they're sisters, and we have Techno Dreadnought Heresy here.
We're not taking the dreadnought.
But are we not?
No.
No. Why not?
Jeff
I like
just
Eustace.
explicitly said if we drag around the dreadnought on Port Maw.
Oh no, not on
one
Port
of the
Maw.
Inquisitors finds
No, this matters on Port Maw.
But I'm so confused.
I am too.
We're discussing a Port Maw like meeting place for a heretic. We can't bring Eustace. We can't bring any of those. So this
We don't need to bring anything. It's just we're going to go to a bar.
What? Have you played 40K?
Yes.
No. I'm bringing the tech guard with me. Does anyone want to bring anyone else with them?
Or no.
Hey, Ceiko, do you got any arbitrator friends on Maw?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't really keep in touch with the arbitrators much anymore.
Oh my god, you're still an arbitrator, though.
I still don't keep it as in touch with them as I should.
Well, even if you don't hang out with them, do you at least know the names of some detectives that we could get on side?
I'll see what I can do anyway. Yeah.
And as well, just OOC reminder here. There is that other Inquisitor that you handed all of the all of the Flame Falcon's relics to. Could see if she's still there.
Wasn't she the one that gave us Jeff's unit?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, the one that gave you Jeff's unit was Inquisitor Amy Jal.
Amy Jal, that's right.
That was the entire point of this conversation, was to go around to each character and see if we could each spend influence to recruit people. Juno,
No,
Sisters
I'm
of
not
Battle.
fucking spending influence on this. This is dumb.
Okay. And Ceiko, the what are they called? I almost said Justicars.
Dotus Arbites.
Arbites. Graves. No one. You're not
Hmm.
from anywhere, but Graves and
Brutal.
Baltus could also. He's not. He doesn't
I
have
mean,
a
it's
background
true.
in the Astra Militarum or anywhere else. He comes from Furry Planet.
I could recruit some werewolves if you wish.
I don't know what that means.
I wouldn't recommend it. Things would get rather messy really quickly.
It's a type of mutation. Don't.
We're walking into an arch heretic's trap, or another inquisitor trying to recruit us. Either way, we need to be as armed and dangerous as possible.
I mean, that does bring up the point. If we're trying to make it seem like we're going to be understanding this guy, or at least trying to like secret ourselves in, coming up in force kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it?
No, you also forget this is 40k and this is a natural response.
Is it?
Yes?
I mean, yeah, the natural response would be heresy, burn it. But I thought if you're trying to go undercover, this is like way overkill.
Yeah,
This is
marching in with Tech Guard is definitely a bit, leaning a bit hard into aggressive negotiations.
yeah, this
Yeah,
is
like that does not
super extra.
that does not.
Trying to negotiate with the super heretic with, you know, like the
Not even
best
gonna
gear
be
we've
there.
ever seen.
'Cause
Yeah, and why would we listen to anything he would have to say?
That
So we can
was
try and-
Graves' point.
Try and fucking insight him a bunch and see if we can learn anything about him. Or more
Like,
importantly, who his organization and the conspiracy.
The reason why I'm confused is because Graves' whole point was just like, fuck them, kick down the door and just be done with it. And it's just like, no, we can't do that. And then it's just like, let's recruit all these guys for the gate kicking operation. I'm just like, wait, what?
It's not gate kicking, it's a security force.
I mean, yeah, but I figure like if you're trying to get yourself to the other side, right? Or like make yourself appear like you're doing so, having a security force all kind of defeats the purpose because I doubt
Yeah.
they're going to defect.
If you want a security force on site, just get the Arbites. Just have like some of them be on alert nearby. They'll blend into the crowd, and we can give them
Either
a go
way.
signal if we need them to come in with fucking batons and shotguns. And as long as we have Graves there, we're probably gonna be okay.
And again, this was part of the entire meeting. This was Eloa's idea.
Yeah, and I think everyone else is like, no.
Then why did it take a half an hour for people to say that?
Because we couldn't figure out what the fuck's going on.
Alright, very simply, Eloa has been contacted with someone who knows who she is, and she wants to go in with a strong security force. So the rest of you are saying no?
No, we should just
I don't
go
think it
there and fucking talk to the guy. Or whoever they send, which probably will just be some goon with a message. If we can learn anything from the cult, great. Otherwise, we just grab them and torture them to death.
And this is a part where my counter to that would have been someone thinking of maybe bringing a Vindicar along with us.
Yeah, if you want to bring one extra scary guy or to have some policemen standing by, that's fine. But if we go in there with force, they're just going to leave.
Alright, decision made. We'll just go in with Arbites. Gonna translate to warp in the morning.
So are we taking Eustace off the planet or not?
You will have to have a talk with Eustace if you want to.
Alright, do we want to then?
Out of character, yes. In character, I mean, it's his home planet and he's been the guardian for so long. But the thing is, we can tell him that we're hunting the people that corrupted his planet. If he wants to come along and hunt them down with us, he's more than welcome.
Sounds like a plan. So now that we've gotten this all out of our system, is there anything else?
Should be nothing so far.
Good. Juno will reach into her pack and she will give all the organics a pill. Take one of those in the morning so you don't get radiation sickness. Good night again, everyone. Turn around and leave.
So, I'm getting the hint that you guys are sleepy OOC as well. So I think we will call it here. We'll start next time with you talking to Eustace and then skip on ahead to Portmore. And if things go well, on to Vindalex. And if things go badly,
3 sessions of combat in a bar.
possibly.
How are you not sleeping so late?
I mean, it's only 8 o'clock for me. This is basically 4 hours after I wake up.
Yeah, but Merz is European.
Yeah, I woke up at 7:30 in the evening. Hi, Snippy. I don't know if you know, I am basically a vampire.
Basically.
So, XP?
Yes. Going to go ahead and give it at 400 this time. And try to actually write up a proper XP system for some point in the future.
No, please
That would be
keep giving
good.
us 500. I want to fill the entire sheet with skills.
No.
Oh.
So you are on 16,900, right?
Yeah, 6,900.
Excuse you, I'm at one. Whatever that is, but there's a 1 and then there's a 6969. Merzendi, look at my sheet. Look at it. Look how beautiful it is.
No, I've got to give XP to the minions. So Amelie, is quite far behind, so she gets double. She is on 5,800.
Yay.
5,000 what?
800.
Ah.
Do they just get like 100 XP a session?
Hmm?
No, never mind. Brain power depleted.
Alright. So yeah, if you want to sign this off.
As soon as I'm done yawning. Alright, if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, we will see you tomorrow for 17. Till then, have a good one. Good night.